Hello, this is Josh giving you a quick walkthrough of Zephyr Drone Simulator's Learning Management System, or LMS for short, from Little Arms Studios. If you do require any additional support, please feel free to contact support@littlearms.com or your Little Arms representative. So yeah, let's just get started. You should see the homepage here for zephyr-sim.com. You can of course reach this just by typing in the URL or Googling Zephyr Drone Simulator. On this page, you will see in the top right the login button. Click on that and it should prompt you to enter your email address and password, or you can use single sign-on with Google or Microsoft if your organization uses that. After you've signed in, this should take you to the Learning Management dashboard. And right here, you should see your name as well as your role. If you're in the incorrect role, you can just click on it and select student, administrator, institution admin, instructor, whatever the correct one is. If you are not here for one reason or another, let's say you're at the home page, this little dialog icon up in the top that says dashboard, that will take you right back to this dashboard view for the learning management system. From here, you'll see these four boxes. First one, marked utility. You could purchase a certification for students. So if you want to get the BPERP certification for a student, you can do that here, and this will walk you through that process. Next, you have the site license usage. You should see your student licenses with how many are used, as well as how many you have total. You can then also see your instructor and admin licenses with those same numbers there. And these bars will also fill depending on how many licenses you have assigned or available. If you do want to assign student licenses, in the top right, you can just click assign and it will pop up a list of all of your current students with or without licenses. You can see at the top this student has a license as they have the check mark and the blue box, and this student does not because they do not have that check mark or blue box. If I wanted to unassign a license, I can just click on that blue box, it'll go away, click next. You can see it'll say licenses removed right here, click confirm and you're good to go. Let's say I wanted to assign a license. I can also do that. Click next. You'll see it'll say right here how many licenses you are assigning and to who, how many you have left after this, and then you can hit confirm and you're good to go. You can also filter by course. So you can do Drones 101 Spring 2025. You could do any of your courses here, and this will only show the students for that particular course. And then you could click assign all available licenses or unassign all your licenses, whatever it is that you need to do. I will note for instructor and admin licenses, these are not revocable and reassignable, but if you do need more for one reason or another, feel free to contact your Little Arms representative or message us at sales@littlearms.com. The next thing I'll show you is the courses box here. You'll see your number of courses, so we've got 13. I can then click create a course and I'll get a dialog pop up for that. At the top, I can enter the name of the course. So let's say this is Summer Drones 101 Test Course. Then I can select a teacher, so I'll select myself. Then I can also select a teacher assistant if I would like. Then lastly, select your start date and end date. So let's say since this is for the summer, we'll end this in September 1st, 2025. I can go ahead and click create. You'll get a little pop-up that says created course successfully at the top and you're good to go. Next, you can see the users tab here. So we have 10 users, and if I wanted to invite another, I could invite a student by clicking that button. First, I select the course I would like to invite them to. So I'll select the course we just created, and then you type in their email. So let's pretend I'm not already in this organization. I could send myself an invite, hitting space, enter, or add to then bubble the email after you type it. You can also send multiple emails at once. So let's say I had another student I wanted to add. I can do the exact same thing, but it will also notify you if it is a duplicate. After you've entered the emails you want to send an invite to, you can then select send immediately, or you can choose a date in the future if you would like to send the invite at a later date. Click invite, and that'll send an invite right to their inbox where they can be prompted to create an account if they haven't already or log in. Next, you have invite admin or instructor. Here it's going to be a very similar pop-up, but you select the role instead of the course. So if I wanted to invite an instructor, I could do that. It will tell me my available licenses, which is 0 right now. Same thing for institution admin. But if I had an available license, I could just type in the email, just like inviting a student, space enter or add, and click invite if I had that available license. You can also do multiple emails just like before. So it's a super easy way to get an invite out to all of your students, admins, or instructors. That is about it for our homepage here. So next we'll go to the manage. So click on that. You'll see a little drop down here. First we've got announcements at the very top. I'll click on that. You can see all of our past announcements. So let's say I want to create a new announcement. I'll go up here to the top right where I see this little plus icon. Click on that and give it a title. So let's say I want my students to log flight hours. So let me just enter that in as a title. And then a message, maybe I want them to fly the Skydio X10. I can do that right here. And let's select a course. So right now I have not selected a course, so this announcement will go to everyone in my institution. But if I only wanted to go to the Summer Drones 101 test course, I can do that here. Click create. You'll see announcement created, and since I'm a part of this course, you can see I get this little blue notification icon. Click on that and I can see the announcement. After I open it up and read it, then you'll notice that blue icon goes away and I can continue on with the learning management system. So it's a really great way if there's a new assignment, if there's a syllabus to read, if you want someone to log flight hours, anything like that, it's a great way to do it. So next is the courses. So if I click on that, open up a very similar screen where we'll see the list of all of our courses. From here, I can then click this little cog wheel and I can do a couple actions around courses. I could view the course page, which I will show in just a second. I can edit the course. So let's say maybe I don't want it to end on September 1st. I want it to end on September 2nd. I can do that right here. Click update, and then you're good to go. From here, you can also copy a course. So this will duplicate the course, and then you can change the dates for every assignment within it. So if I create a copy, this will duplicate this course, and then at all of the assignments, it will pop up as well. So if I say have a spring course and I want to teach the exact same, maybe Drones 101 in the fall, I can just duplicate that course. It automatically duplicates all the assignments within it. All I do is change the dates for when they're due and when they start, and you're good to go. Lastly, you can manage students. So right now there's no students, but let's say I wanted to add Alex, Brandon, and Parker as a student here. I can just do that, click apply. Let's say I wanted to remove Parker. I can do that, click apply, and these students are now added to my course. You can also create a new course from this screen with this little plus icon on the top right. Pops up the exact same dialog as on the home screen. So this should be super easy. But now if I go to view, I can view the course screen. And from here, you can see the name of my course. You can see the instructor as well as the course dates. If you want to edit the course, you can again do that right here. And I can also now see my enrolled students. So you'll see I've got Alex and Brandon as my 2 students for this course. I can then see all the assignments. So this is a brand new course. We don't see any assignments. But in the top right, you'll see this little plus icon. I can click on that and create a new assignment. So let's say this is a brand new course. I want to assign basic training forward flight 1. Get them started flying. And let's say I want to make sure they do fly, maybe not the Skydio X10, let's do the Avata 2. So I put that in the description. You could add anything here. But now let's select our due date. So today's the 14th of July. Let's select maybe the 21st. I want to do in a week. We'll select today is when it'll start. But I'm a little bit of a lenient teacher. I'll let them still submit it until Friday the 25th. But even if that is a little late, I can now set a minimum flight time requirement. So I know this is a fairly short module. I can maybe say, hey, I want it done in 3 minutes, 20 seconds. I can say maybe I want it done in a minute, but let's go right in the middle. Let's go 2 minutes there. And I can also say a minimum score. So the majority of our modules are going to be out of 500 points. But I don't expect anyone to remember that. So if you just enter the biggest number you can think of, you'll get a little pop-up that tells you the maximum score of that module, and then you can choose a minimum score accordingly. So maybe I have a really high standard for my students. I want them to do perfectly on this module for it to count for this assignment. I can choose that, click create, and boom, I've got my first assignment. Now, let's say, hey, forward flight 1, that's only going to take them 2 minutes. I want another assignment due next Monday. I can just copy that assignment. Every detail will be copied exactly. And then I can just select the next module, click create, and now I've got 2 assignments, all exactly the same, except now I've got forward flight 1 and 2, and you could keep doing this as much as you'd like. Now, let's go to one of these assignments. You can see you can also edit it. So maybe the end date is actually a little too soon. I want to give them some more time. I can do that here. I can delete the assignment if, hey, actually I don't need them to fly forward flight 2, or I can view the assignment screen, which I will show you in just a second. But first, I want to finish showing you our course screen. Remember, we're in Summer Drones 101 test course. This is a little bit complicated, so I'll make sure to talk through it. But you'd go to Manage, find your course, click the cog wheel, click View, and then you're going to see the course screen just like this. So, next tab, Announcements. This is our announcements for this institution. I can see those here as well. I can see the different courses, anything like that. If I want to create a new announcement, I can also do that here. And then finally, course invites. So if I sent an invite to a new student, I could see that here and check up on it. But I'll show you guys in another screen what that might look like. So let's go to the announcements or the assignments tab here. We're going to click cogwheel view, just like we did to get to the course screen. This will sometimes take a little while to load, depends on how many students you have, how many flights they've taken, that sort of thing. But you'll see here I'm now on our assignment screen. So I can see the scene, I can see the module, the date, the due date, the date range, all that information here. I'll see a list of all my students. I'll see if they've completed it within the start date and end date. So they have not attempted it, I just made it, so of course they have not. Then I can see if they've completed it on time, so that's the start date and the due date. So if you remember, I had my assignment due on July 21st. So if they do it between today and July 21st, it'll be on time and completed. But if they do it after July 21st, but before my end date of, I believe, the 25th, then, yep, I can check that right up there. Then it will say it's completed, but it's not on time. Next, you'll see the score they got, as well as the total time and the completed date. The last thing you'll see is a little blue icon right here where you can view more information about their flight, which I'll show you in just a moment in the Reports tab. So I'll talk through that workflow one more time because I know it's complicated, but to view your courses or assignments, you'd go to Manage, Courses, select the course, click the cogwheel, click View. Now I'm looking at the course screen, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing, find the assignment, click cogwheel, click View, and now I'm looking at the assignment screen. So going back to the start of our Manage tab, after Courses, you'll see Users. This will show all the users in your institution, as well as the various roles they may have, and the organization license that's assigned to them, if they do have a license assigned. Next up is Invites. So this will look exactly like the Invites tab in the course screen. So you'll see all of these invites have been sent and they've been accepted. But let's say I've sent an invite to a student. I can see here, hey, it's sent. It'll show that update right here, but they're not finding it in their inbox. Maybe I've even checked on their laptop and it's still not in the student's inbox. What I can do is I can find that student here. So let's say I'm inviting myself. I can get the invite link. So go cogwheel, get invite link, and that'll copy to the clipboard a link that goes directly to that invite. So it'll look something just like that, which will then prompt them to create the account. So you can message that to them personally on, Teams, your own email, whatever, Slack, whatever service you guys use, just to make sure they're able to get into the simulator. So then you'll see institution invoices, institution transactions, and my orders. As of today, July 14th, 2025, these are still under development. So when you open these up, you should see no items, but don't Don't worry, doesn't mean any of your information has been lost. It won't log here yet because that's still in development. Same is true if you go to orders here. If I open this up, you'll just see order history, no orders. Again, in development, so don't be scared if you don't see anything there. Now we'll go to our reports tab here. So you'll immediately see when I open this up, I have to select a user. So let's select myself. Let's see how I've been flying. It'll now show from any course, any scene, any module, all of my flights between Saturday, June 14th, and Monday, July 14th. Now let's say I want to go even further back. I could do that. I can go all the way back to June 2021. And now I'll see all of my flights from today until June 1st, 2021. They'll all be in this list view, but let's say maybe I only care about a particular module. I can select that here. It'll only show me from that module. And then here you'll see the date, the scene, the module, the score, did I complete it? And then you'll see this blue button that is the exact button you'll see in the assignment screen like I mentioned earlier. If I click on that, you'll get a little pop-up, tell you a little bit of extra details about this particular flight. So I can see the exact start time and end time. I can see the max altitude, the top speed, average altitude, average speed, the total time it took me, anything like that. You can see the drone you flew if you want more information. However, you have 40 students, you have 40 pilots. This is quite the workflow. So if you have that many students and you want to see some detailed information on their flights, what you can do is click the request report right here. And this will pop up a dialog that sends an Excel spreadsheet directly to your email so you can see a very organized list of the exact information you want. So at the top, it'll say email. This is the email it wants to send that spreadsheet to. So it'll default to your account email, but you can change this email, as you can see here, if you wanted to send it somewhere else. Next, you can then make sure you're viewing your selected users, and you can select the users. So right now, it'll just show every student or instructor in your organization. But let's say I only want to see from this course, right? So I can select that. It'll only show me the students in this course. I can then click Add All, click Apply, and now this will send me the spreadsheet of only flight information about these 2 students who are in my course. Next, I can select the date range. So if you remember the assignment I created earlier, I want it to start today and then end by that end date, July 25th, and I'll see all of their attempts between today and July 25th. Next, I can choose if I only want to see if they've completed the module, or I can choose if I only want to see if they didn't complete the module, or both. So let's say I only care if they completed it, and I can also check highest score only. So this is really important because if you have a student who maybe it took them 5 attempts, that's not too many. You'll see maybe 5 flights, that's okay. But if you have a student who took 40 attempts to do this assignment, that's really going to bloat this spreadsheet in a way that's unhelpful. So you can check on highest score only, and then it'll only show you their very best attempt at this module. Next, I can then select what are those modules I want to see. So right now, go to select, and if you remember, I believe it was forward flight 1 and 2 that I assigned. So let's select both of those because that's all I want to see. And then I can choose the information I want to see. So right now, it'll just tell me, hey, if they completed it, what was the date and time? But let's say I said I wanted them to fly the Avata 2. I want to see the drone name as well so I can make sure they flew the Avata 2. And maybe I want to see the score percentage as well so I can really easily go into my own personal gradebook and update their scores. Lastly, you just have to accept our data agreement. We are emailing you this spreadsheet, so the information on that spreadsheet is now also yours to protect, and we're not liable for that. Then I'd click send, and it'll send it right to my email. You'll get an email with nothing but a spreadsheet from no reply at littlearms.com. So that is just about everything for the reports tab. Again, orders, you shouldn't see anything here. If you are one of our enterprise users who uses the LMS and has one of our site licensing licenses, this My Content, I want to emphasize, does not apply to you. This is for our individual users only. So you should have access to all of these scenarios depending on your license, and here is not where you would purchase anything additional. You can also go down to certifications here, another way to assign that BPERP certification to students. And lastly, if you have not yet downloaded the Little Arms Launcher and then Zephyr Drone Simulator, right here, depending on your machine, it will tell you exactly how to do that, as well as this orange box in the top right. So that's our learning management system. I know sometimes it can be a lot. I want to emphasize, if you already have a contact at Little Arms, feel free to email them. They'd be happy to help. If not, contact support@littlearms.com and we'll get you sorted as soon as we can. But we really appreciate you using our simulator. And again, if you need anything, let us know.